I am Portia, and this is my mock client. His name is Kwame Asante. So today we're doing a mindfulness technique, and the mindfulness technique I'm using is called thought labeling. So I'm going to ask Kwame a series of 3 questions, and he's going to categorize them. And Kwame, one of the things I was saying is that mindfulness techniques, they help us stay rooted in the value of now. They help us stay non-judgmental. They help us think good things and kind of monitor ourselves. How are you doing today, by the way?
Pretty good. Woke
Nice.
up nice.
Nice. Did you sleep good last night?
I did, actually.
Nice,
Slept like a rock.
nice. So it's always nice to see you. And how's your entire week been in general?
For the most part, busy. Got
Busy?
a lot of work, but it's been calm enough at night to where I can level out.
Nice. So these are the categories. One is judging, or you can number them however numerical you choose. But judging, planning, and worrying. So the first, and then afterwards we're going to discuss everything. So the first question I'm going to ask Kwame is, oh my God, I haven't heard about my son's progress. How would you label that? As worrying, planning, or judging?
I would say it's more worrying.
Nice. I think so too. Now the second question I'd ask is, oh my goodness, I have a master's degree in history, and I'm just wondering what discipline I want to do my PhD studies in. I'm thinking about what I want to do my PhD in. And I'm aware of all these deadlines coming up. What would you say that's planning, judging, or worrying?
Definitely planning.
Nice. And then the third question I'll ask, I'm going to say, and this is just some random thought that just popped in out of the blue. Oh my God, I hate her so much. She looks just like my great-grandmother. Would you say that's judging, planning, or worrying?
It's definitely judgment.
Nice. So, what do you think about, being you're a historian.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think the present helps us? Staying rooted in the present, now, the value of now. Does it help?
How can, today's?
Like today, staying rooted in today, now, like the present, monitoring your thoughts and now, thinking, like, where are we now?
So, are you asking, in what ways can we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Stay rooted in now, and in what ways can we not be judgmental of ourselves, and believe in ourselves, and not as judgmental? In what ways can we do that?
I would say, one, find a happy medium, whether that be music, drawing, resting, taking a walk, something that you can set aside time for you. And then when it comes to not being so judgmental on self, I would say if you can, be intentional. Tell
Nice.
yourself, I can do this at least once a day.
Nice.
Tell yourself, you look good today.
Nice.
Something like that. I think that would help. I would also say, try not to take words from social media as gospel.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people's different opinions, and it doesn't always mean it's going to work for you. So I would say take all of that with a grain of salt. And I think you could, with that, you'd be able to stay pretty in the now.
Nice. As a historian, what part of the past do you think helps us stay rooted in now?
All of it. Part of the reason why I became a historian is because I believe that, that old idiom, history repeats itself. It truly does. It's cycled from what research and stuff that I've done. So in order for us to succeed now, we'd have to pay attention to the mistakes of the past.
Okay.
And then course correct and all that when available. So.
Nice. Do you think the thought labeling? Have you ever done that on your own before? Kind of labeled your thoughts as they come in? Or just kind of gone with the flow?
I'm a very specific type of thinker, so I don't have a lot of
Random thoughts.
Random thoughts, yeah. I'm also not a judgy person. I'm not perfect, so I don't expect anybody else to.
Oh, you look perfect to me. You're so handsome. Oh my goodness.
So I try to move forward with the thought process like I have no idea what they're going through. Maybe there's a reason. Maybe they need, this or that, whatever. Unity for all is the kind of the mindset that I have. But I will say that the process of like worry, plan, and judge, I think I do it instinctually. I think everybody does.
It's kind of part of your senses.
Yeah. But to like say that I actively do it,
yeah, because it's like you're not monitoring every neurological process that goes on in your brain. Now another thing, question I wanted to ask: how do you feel the a focus too much on the future can do you feel a focus on the future can interrupt your present?
Absolutely. One of the things that I actively like teach to like new people or my friends, they all know, is that I live in today.
Exactly.
Tomorrow, I worry about tomorrow typically towards the end of the day, like, okay, I gotta get that done, and that done, and I'll go, okay, and then I get my rest. But as far as like planning ahead is one thing, but focusing on that instead of living in it is something I won't do.
You won't do.
Yeah.
Okay. Very, very, very nice. So, how would you say, like I know you've spoken about your, pursuing your PhD and, kind of, other schools that you wanted to apply to. How are you planning towards that process?
So for my historian stuff, it's making sure that I have enough schooling, making sure that I have all the training courses done, I have all the proper identification and paperwork to be able to teach and, go on digs and stuff like that. So for me, for planning for it, I'm doing my classes again just to make sure I have everything, making sure I'm qualified to use all the tools.
Nice.
Making sure my passport's up to date in case I got to go out of country, that kind of stuff.
Nice. Is there a specific, how can you tie your knowledge of history into the now? How you said something about history repeating itself sometimes. How are you using your academic expertise to for the now? How does this kind of seep into public opinion, to allow you to live your life nicely and freely?
Well, I know that I apply a lot of the stuff that I've read, so it's a lot of like pattern recognition, like understanding when this thing happens. You may not see it right here, but you'll see it here. So you gotta put the pieces to it together. But what I do, I think, to allow me to live peacefully in the chaos of stuff is, I guess what I was saying earlier, I'm intentional about my peace.
Nice.
Like I wake up and I say, you're gonna have a good day today.
Nice.
You know what I mean? I wholeheartedly believe that anger and, all that kind of stuff, it triggers and sometimes you can't control it, but for the most part, it's a choice you're making. You're choosing to be that angry. You're choosing to allow this person to have that kind of power
over you. Nice.
I just don't do that.
Nice. Beautiful.
People have their opinions. I let them have it. Sometimes I even thank for their opinion if it's, constructive, whether it's good or bad, as long as it benefits me in some way, I'll thank them. But for all the negativity and stuff, I just put on a smile and hope that they have a good day, or I hope that whatever situation I'm currently going in can fix itself as long as I'm doing the steps necessary to pull myself out.
Exactly. So would at any point, when these people like that, when they interrupt your being or anything, if they come, and I know you're all for freedom of speech and people having their own opinions, at any point do you judge those people?
No.
Nice.
My mom actually calls me weird. Because when I say I love humanity, I mean like everybody. Like all people. I feel like it's something that's necessary. People don't have enough love, or people don't understand what love is anymore.
Exactly.
And so for me, I don't judge them. I try to understand like what kind of person they are. Sometimes it doesn't always work. I do have enemies. I'm not perfect. But for the most part, yeah.
We try not to think that we have enemies. We
Yeah.
want to think that everybody loves us. I mean, it's kind of a healthier way to go about things. Yeah. Now, is there anything that worries you? Anything that kind of worries you occasionally?
Everything.
Really?
Yeah, financials, children, housing, the state of the economy, the people around me. I'm constantly worried. I don't allow it to eat me.
Exactly.
It's like, so, because for me, a worry it's like that level of anxiety.
Exactly.
It prevents me from being able to move forward.
Exactly.
And I don't want to be sick. So I have the worries. I try to piece stuff together where I can, but for the most part, I won't let it eat me.
Nice. So, let me see. How do you? Okay, and what you're saying makes perfect sense. Do you ever utilize breathing exercises?
Every day.
Oh, nice.
Every day. I do. What they call them? 4-4-4. So I'll breathe
nice.
in 4.
That's a mindfulness technique.
Yeah. Exit 4. I do that. I do 5-8-5, and then whenever I'm walking, I'm doing slow intake and then slow outtake.
Nice.
But I do breathing techniques every day.
Okay, nice. And what would you say, Kwame? What do you think really helps you stay rooted in now? Like, if you had a bad day yesterday, what helps you move from then, all the craziness of maybe the chaos yesterday, to today?
By honestly deciding that a new day means a new start. So let's say I got into an argument with a family member, right? It got pretty heated. And the next day, I don't want to wake up in that anger, because that determines my whole day.
Exactly.
So I will intentionally when I'm brushing my teeth or whatever, I'll breathe. I'll get myself in the right mindset, and then I move on. And if I see that family member again, I treat them like nothing happened. Hey,
exactly.
how you doing? Give them a hug, whatever. If they want one, if they still have their animosity, then they still have it. That's on them. You know what I mean? So everybody's entitled to it. But for the most part, I purposely separate
nice.
myself from the thing, especially if it's something I'm waking up into. I will not start my day with chaos.
Oh, what lovely. And I love to hear that. Perfect. Now, another thing, Kwame Asante, I wanted to ask you is are there any biblical, spiritual elements that help you stay rooted in now and always not being judgmental? And I know you're a pretty cool person. You're very good looking, very handsome. Yeah, he's my crush. I have a crush on him. So, are there any spiritual elements that help you, like maybe a biblical or, religious tendencies that help you stay rooted in the now and present and non-judgmental and help ease any potential for worry?
I am actually non-judgmental because of religion.
Nice.
Being a historian, I have read multiple different texts and different scriptures, across different religions, trying to understand what it is I was looking at. I've talked with different teachers and other historians, linguists, that kind of stuff. And one of the things that I've noticed across all of them is that almost every single religion is rooted in finding oneself.
Okay.
Yeah, every single religion the 17 that I've come across so far have all been rooted in the same general thing, which is find oneself, accepting oneself, being able to accept a higher power, that kind of thing. And so for me, for all of the different religions that have that same core, I was like, I'm going to try living that way, just, see.
Nice.
So I practice different tenets, praying for my food.
Exactly.
Praying for the safety of others, praying for my safety when I'm on traveling. Try to give, if I have extra and somebody's in need, I give.
Nice.
That kind of stuff. So I would say for the religious tenets help me.
Okay.
But I wouldn't say like one specific
religion
Yeah.
because you take perfect. So Kwame, we're going to end this interview, but one thing, as I said, I do want you to be mindful of this process, and it's a mindfulness techniques, it's thought labeling, and I mean neurologically we automatically do it, but I do want you to be kind of pay attention to those little things in there. So such a nice interview. I love him so much. Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Do you want to pause it?
Okay.